most of that impact.
How's it going, you spice-hitting individuals? Welcome to a new episode of Inside IUE Sports. I'm your host, Travis Lang. And today we're going to talk with a couple athletes on the show that have never actually been on. I almost feel like it's a reptile expo where I'm showing off new reptiles. But we're not showing off reptiles. We're showing off some great athletes here at IU East. And first, I'm talking with Sincere Beam.
Yes, sir.
So, Sincere, let's just get the formalities out of the way. Just tell me a little bit about where you're from and what high school you went to.
I'm originally from Shelby, North Carolina. Went to Shelby High School, the great Shelby High School, one of the best schools in the county. And really, that's where it all started. I went to football games at a young age, seen a lot of athletic events. I was like, I want to be here. I want to go here. My mom went there, my aunt. So it was a little family tradition to go to that school or to the county rival school, Crest High School, which is also another great school in the city.
And I've heard that you've been doing track since high school.
Yeah.
What were you involved with during your high school time?
Really, in high school, I was a student athlete, of course, but at other activities like band and being a part of certain things outside, like clubs, doing little things to help with the youth, going out, mentoring, and that's really it.
What'd you play in band?
I played a saxophone, and I would switch from the drum line also from time to time.
Yeah, because we talked about, I was part of drumline for my high school, so it was really cool to see.
Oh yeah.
Drummers are the best, honestly.
The best.
So you went through track in high school. You did really well, obviously, because now you're at college. You're at the college level running. How did you end up at IU East all the way from Carolina?
My dad's the coach, so I was looking at many options of schools, and I decided to go here. It was the best option that I felt academically, and just having somebody that would be able to watch over me and constantly be on me with my academics and sports. And that's really it.
Well, let's talk about that. So it's weird. Usually you don't see that father-son coaching relationship, at least up in the college level. It's pretty common in middle school, high school.
Yeah.
But, I mean, what's it like to have your dad every single day coaching you for a sport?
I would say it can be stressful at times. With me already being hard on myself, and then having him on me, it can be a little burden, but it's nothing that I can't handle. And I enjoy it, and I love it because it's a blessing first and foremost. Because many people, where I'm from, they don't have that close relationship with their father or anything like that. So I don't take it for granted for the most part.
And do you think he's harder on you than everybody else on the team?
From times and in a lot of aspects, but they know I can handle it, and they joke around with me and say, Gus is gonna get on you, like you gotta do this, but other than that, it's fine.
Yeah, and it's actually been working out pretty well for the team in general. I know I interviewed him a little bit earlier this year. I also said he had the best beard in the RSC in terms of sports teams. But it was really cool to see him go through everybody, and he talked about you a little bit during that. But so far the season has been kind of shaky, especially with COVID and stuff like that. Have you done any meets just yet?
Yes, we recently, this past weekend, competed in our second meet in Kentucky at the Owensboro. It was Bracia's Bearcat Classic. I placed third, got a little bit further than what I did the previous meet in South Carolina. So it was a great thing to do, and great to just go out and support and see some of the people from cross country back and see them run, and just being able to support everybody.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention too, I mean, you're not just a freshman running. I mean, you have some experience. What's your grade level here at IU East?
I'm a junior here at IU East, and my major is communications.
Yeah. So you've had some experience running against some of these, running and jumping against some of these schools. What have you noticed through your time in college about competing in the NAIA? Have there been any challenges that you've had to face or obstacles that you've had to overcome?
I'll probably say the biggest obstacle was last year, facing a hamstring injury and just being patient, trying to heal up, and really just mentally psyching myself out, and just trying to go out there and compete with everybody, because every week, every day you're going to get better, and a lot of people in the conference do get better in a short amount of time. So sometimes that can be a challenge, but it ain't nothing too hard to overcome.
And you mentioned that you had an injury. I've talked to a lot of players who have had injuries, and it's tough to come back, especially now with this COVID season. It's hard to condition and stay in shape. I mean, how do you get through something as tough as an injury?
Really, for me, I keep my faith, stay prayed up, and just take it one step at a time, one day at a time, and do everything that I'm told to do. For one, can't be stubborn when it comes to training advice or coach's advice, but really the main thing is having a mental grit. You gotta have that mental part down with you, and you'll be able to get through it.
You are a triple jumper on this team, and that's not very common around Indiana and Ohio especially. What does a triple jumper do, since most people really aren't familiar with that around here?
I would say the triple jumper you have the same aspects as the long jump, it's just longer. So you have 3 phases, which is the hop, step, and jump. The hop phase is when you're approaching the board. Second phase, the step, is when you're landing and transitioning into your last phase, which is the jump, which will be off the opposite leg from the first 2.
And, I mean, that sounds tough. I mean, I'm not very athletic, but what's the training like for that?
Really it's the same training you would do for long jump or any other jumps, just bound and foot placement. A lot of core and technique goes into it, but the smallest things from running to approaching the board, that's the biggest thing I would probably say focusing on. But it can be tough, but it's all right. A little stressful.
Well, I'm sure. But the training has paid off, it seems like. I mean, you're a couple meets in, but also not only have you had accolades on the field, but you've also had accolades off the field. You just won the RSC Champions of Character Award, or at least one of them. I mean, first of all, explain what that is overall, and tell me what that means to you.
Really, the Champions of Character Award, it can go to any athlete that shows pride or good sportsmanship and just a good athletic spirit of in and competing, and just is able to carry themselves in a way that somebody would want their athlete to. And I'm very humbled to accept that, and I'm very thankful for that award, because I'm glad a lot of people see me in that way, and I carry myself in that way. But it's a great thing to have, a great addition to my accolades.
Well, only if you were good at pool, maybe you'd have the best accolade. And I mention that because we used to play pool back when IU East was open. But speaking of that, of academics, you're a student athlete. You said you were in communications. You're a junior here. We've actually had a couple classes together. How's that degree going?
It's going pretty well. You have bumps in the road, but overall, I wouldn't say it's nothing to shy away from. It's pretty all right.
And where do you see yourself going with this future of communications?
I actually plan to go to another school, or I might stay here to get my master's after I graduate, get my master's in public relations, and then go off, look for a job that's suitable for me, that's best suited for me. So hopefully I get a job either in the music field or the sports field, either one, but I'll be blessed with whatever comes my way.
And actually, that's really interesting that you would go with communications and choose something like a music field. I mean, do you still stay with music even after high school?
Oh, yeah. I play in the church that I go to, Life Changing Ministry, so I've been playing there for the last 3 years. First year, I mainly stuck on drums. Last year, I would switch from the keyboard to drums, and now it's mainly keyboard and working my talents as a minister of music. So
that's really cool. So, final question. I know there are a lot of athletes in high school that are just really trying to figure out what they want to do with the rest of their life, if they really want to continue sports into college. What are some recommendations that you have, or some tips and tricks you can pass along to those high school athletes that are looking to compete in college athletics?
I would really say is, as soon as you, freshman year, have a solid freshman year, and whatever you end with, build up on it, and take advantage of the opportunities that you have, as far as SATs, ACTs, certain college classes that you can take, honors classes, and anything that can make you get better, and do it. If you have any chance or big opportunity, don't be afraid to take it, because that might be your break point. So if you can break through any moment, that's the best thing you can do. But, you know, reach out to coaches and ask friends or family who have college athletic experience, or anybody in the community, because that worked for me. Obviously, I had my father on my end too, and other friends as well. So I'll ask them about the recruiting process and just everything and how I should take it one step at a time.
Well, thank you so much, Sincere, for joining me. Good luck with the rest of the season coming up. Good luck with the academics, too. I know Zoom isn't the best thing usually. And hopefully also your dad isn't too hard on you as we go through. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.